Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the All Over Overland show. I'm Lee, and here in a minute we'll have Michael on with us. Tonight we're going to have Ryan from CB Adventure. We're going to talk a little bit of gear and his new Tacoma build that it's amazing. So anyway, stay tuned, and we will we'll get things going here pretty quick for you. So be right back. So, as you can tell, I'd like to thank all our sponsors and also let you know that it's not Women's Wednesday. That's tomorrow. I clicked on the wrong one. And for the record, before Michael comes on the screen, he's an asshole. Just telling you right now, he is. Yeah. And so I'm going to make his life rough tonight. But anyway, I'm kidding. All right. So here's my good friend and buddy, Michael, the host of the show.
So here's what's funny. I didn't see any of that because I kicked myself off of the feed and had to get back on before the video finished. So I didn't see. I just heard that you effed up and played the Women's Wednesdays reel instead of the All Over Overland show.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that. I don't know where to go from there. I don't know how we continue.
I'm just messing around with you. Nah, how have you been?
Dude, I've been pretty good. Just hanging in there. You should have been out of town right now.
I should have. And I knew you were going to bring this up, which almost made me not tell you prior to the show.
Dude, well, I was going to bring it up anyway because you're not in your truck. You're at home.
I know.
I would have noticed that.
I was in my truck, and so I took off the other morning. I got up about 4 o'clock. What's today? Today is Tuesday, so that was Monday morning. I got up at 4 o'clock. I said, hey, I'm going to take off and go somewhere. And quite honestly, our guest tonight, Ryan from CV Adventure Supply, I actually thought about just like driving to Dallas and going to see him. And then I thought, damn, what if he's not
for your health?
Yeah, it probably would have been better for my health too. I was like, damn, what if he's not there? And, I like the element of surprise. So I ended up going east, and I drove straight to the beginning part of the Oklahoma Tat at the border there. And I started driving the Tat, and got all the way just the other side of Bartlesville, and then ended up camping there. But I was going to go on today. However, this morning when I got up, I proceeded to start packing, and as I was stepping out of the canopy camper, I stepped on the bumper and I was in my Crocs, and I rolled, my shoe rolled or my foot rolled, and I ended up picking myself up off the ground. I landed like back onto the ground, and brushed it all off and thought, thank God nobody was out here, and I didn't scar my ego too bad. So anyway, about 20 minutes later, I went to pick up the front runner box and was like, oh shit, my back. Oh shit, my back. Oh. So anyway, I decided, since I'm only about a half hour from home, that I would just come home instead of taking
probably not the worst idea that you've ever had.
Yeah.
I never remember names of groups. I might have shared our video in a group that we're probably not supposed to share our video.
Oops. All right. So anyway, hey, we got a great guest on tonight.
It could feel like encroachment.
Well,
Yeah, we got a good guest. You're about to announce. Good friend of ours.
Yep. And one of our favorite spooning buddies at camp.
And somebody that has turned out one of the most amazing Tacomas I've seen. I can't wait to see if I love it or just like it as we're going to look at it.
Here he is, the man of the hour, the one and only Ryan.
What's up, fellas? And I want to hold on. You said we were friends, Michael. You just moved us from acquaintances to friends without even talking to me about that.
I didn't
What
know
the
that we
hell?
moved. I thought we were there.
Did you?
I'm really heartbroken. I called you with a bit of hey man, I need a little bit of advice on something, like from a deep spot in my heart. I called you, first person I talked to about it.
Damn it. All right, listen, everybody that's listening or watching, do us a favor, go out and share the video on from our Overland radio page. I can't think tonight. It's the medicine. It's got to be the medicine.
From our Overland radio page.
Yeah. So anyway, go share. Hey, Mark's listening to us from down in Australia. Thanks, buddy. Skip, man, glad you're here, buddy.
So, Ryan, did you grab something to drink?
I'm at the shop, so all I've got is Coke Zero and Gatorades here with me today.
What? Hey, Haley, what did at the shop have to do with any of that?
I'm not sure, because everybody we know drinks at the shop after hours.
Yeah, well,
we'll hold you in a little high regard.
All right, this is it. I'm driving down this weekend. You're gonna have to turn over your man card.
Oh, what?
Well, no. Here's the deal. I get it. He has to head home. I don't like taking a sip. I don't like even taking a sip and then driving somewhere. I am a big fan of get to camp and then drink.
Yeah.
Not get to camp, drink some, and then find another camp. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, that's right. He does have to drive home. I wasn't thinking about that.
Drive home. He's not like some of these other bums that they're.
I mean, if it went too far, I could always just sleep in either the walkabout back here or go next door and sleep in the Tacoma.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Luxury.
Speaking of the walkabout, you've got a chair you're sitting on from that company, 23-0, and it's Lee's been talking about it. How badass is it?
Oh, I love it. It's probably one of the best camp chairs I've sat in. I'm a convert. You know, I've had Oz tent. You know, I have the luxury of sitting in all the chairs.
Yeah.
But Oz tent and Covea, and you know, this one by far, as far as how comfortable it is, dude, it can't be beat.
Now, when it folds up, does it fold up like a traditional lawn chair?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the size of an Oz tent, or if you've seen the other 23-0 chair with the mesh back.
Okay,
it's about that size. But I've learned that with comfort, you have to give up a little bit, and I'm willing to do that to be comfortable sitting around the fire at camp for sure.
You know, there's a lot to be said for comfort the older you get. You know, when you're that young teenage, you know, early 20 thing, you know, the comfort isn't as important as the cool factor, maybe. I don't know. But man, when you get to be our age, and I say that because I'm 51, comfort and having a big bulky chair, I'm cool with it. As a matter of fact, if that thing had an ottoman, it'd be even better.
Well, for the time being, we use the Oz tent sidekicks.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, those are perfect ottomans. It gives you a place to put your feet. You could use it to sit on as a stool, or put your plate if you need to get up and walk around.
Yeah, those things are freaking handy as heck. So, what else you got? Anything good?
Well, let's see. Garmin came out with the new tread. Have you guys seen that yet?
I haven't seen it, but I think Lee has.
I have seen it, and I hate to use the words played with it, but I did play with it.
Wow.
So,
I would go so far as to saying that I may have had a slightly intimate encounter with that thing. It's so nice.
Oh, wow. I'm glad you haven't been to my store. I mean,
here's to the Garmin tread, baby.
Yeah, I'd have to go around and disinfect everything.
Oh, come on. Well, yeah, the Garmin tread. So let's talk about that for a couple minutes. So I looked at one of the pre-release models, or whatever you want to call it, and the clarity of the screen, the size of those screens, because you can get the 8 and 10 inch. And it has the built-in inReach. There's just so much more.
Right. So when you pair it with your phone,
I mean, so much more.
As long as you have cell service, you can actually pull weather in on the device, where it'll give you your forecast. I haven't dug too deep, but I think it does. Has a weather radar overlay on the map too. So
Mhm.
if you're able to grab service enough to pull in the radar, you can actually see your pins on the map where you're going, and see the weather if there's storms moving in or snow, rain, whatever. You can see it on the map itself. That's pretty slick. I like that.
And the cool part is this thing has its own little docking station kind of thing. So you could pull it off of that and sit out. You could sit in your 23-0 springback chair there and
Right
do
on.
your plan. And
Yeah.
speaking of 23-0, there's our buddy Justin.
Right on. I still need to. I'm still in the shopping for a new sleeping bag.
Oh
Dude,
man,
their new sleeping bags are legit. You've seen
Yeah.
the canvas trail blanket, right?
Hmm.
I
Imagine
bought one
that
from you.
as yeah, that's right, you did. At
Yeah.
Moore, was it at Moore? Right as
Uh,
we were leaving, or
no,
Rendezvous? It was
Rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
Yeah.
But it's more or less one of those canvas trail blankets in a sleeping bag form. Now, the
Mhm.
nice thing about it is you can actually zip them together. So they
Yep.
come in 3 sizes. I think it's a 30, like a 36, a 44, and a 62, which a 62 is pretty big. But you
So
can take
now-
2 44s and zip them together.
Yeah.
Now, like in my situation, I've got the the quick pitch tent. Would you get a sleeping bag or would you just get the blanket?
I do blankets. I've slept plenty of nights in a sleeping
When you
bag.
twist around and get all,
Mhm.
that's I can't handle that.
So I prefer blankets over sleeping bags.
I have to tell you that blanket is the canvas one I got from Ryan. I've used it only about 3 times now, maybe 4 times, and it's all been cold stuff, and it really does the trick. The key is if you like, for me, I put it up in the top of the canopy camper or the Alucab, and I turn on the heat and I heat that whole upper, and it kind of heats that blanket. Once it gets cold, it takes a little bit to warm it back up, that outer canvas material. Now, the inner flannel part, not a bad deal, but yeah, man, that thing is nice.
Well,
I mean,
and I think that canvas has just enough weight to it
yep,
that, some of these sleeping bags out there, they feel like air on top of you.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
You
yeah.
Yeah,
know,
they're very lofty.
yeah. And I want something that feels like it's giving me a little bit of a hug.
That's his needy part of him.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, so let's go back to the Garmin Tread real quick, though, because
Mhm.
I mean, we love Justin and all his products, of course, but I want to talk about the Garmin because I'm a nerd, as Michael pointed out
It
earlier.
happens.
Mhm.
Give us a price point on this thing first of all. So, like the 10-inch is about roughly.
The 10-inch is roughly about 1,400, almost 1,500, I think. And then the 12-inch is in the 1,270 range. And when you look at having an Overlander, which didn't have all the same features, and having an InReach, whether it's the Mini or the Explorer, I mean, you're not that far off. So really, by combining the two into one unit and giving you more features, the price point is really justifiable when you kind of see everything that's packed into that one package.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, and I'm glad you said that because I was just about to bring that up. Is that by the time you buy and here's the other thing, squirrel. If you already have an InReach Mini or Explorer and you have a subscription, all you have to do is log in, and it works. So you can still carry the portable one, say on your backpack or whatever, while you're out hiking if you go off on a hike, and then the one in the vehicle is there and it works as well. So you don't have to get another subscription to it. It works together seamlessly.
Yeah, it'll pair off of it. Yep.
But I'm really interested in like the Garmin switching system, to do your lights or air compressors, and then you got the cameras, which I think they upgraded the camera, so the cameras are a little bit nicer, aren't they? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe. I think they're still wireless. I'm hoping that they come out with a wired version. As convenient as wireless is, you're just not going to, in this type of space, you're not going to get the video quality you can get out of a wired camera.
Doesn't it have a camera built on the back of it? Or does it?
I want to say maybe the 10-inch does. I'll have to go back and look because I know, like on the on the Montana series, the 700 doesn't have a camera in it, but the 750 does.
Got it.
I'd
Okay.
have to look into that. We've got a couple of 10 inches in the box, but I've got an 8-inch next door that I can check. I know it's got a flashlight on it.
Yes. Yeah, I think maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Is it maybe what I'm thinking of that I don't remember in the pre-production.
I think you're thinking of, it's got like a small light that you can turn on and off on it that works as a flashlight
Okay.
should you need to be able to see around inside the vehicle or something.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. So, but the screen is so much brighter. It's so much clearer. To me, it looks just like an Android or an iPad. I mean, it's that kind of clarity and the resolution in the screen. But there's a lot. You said the weather. I'm trying to remember all the little things that just.
Well, you got the eye
trip planner. You got a
yeah.
checklist. You got.
You can actually plug in your vehicle's dimensions as well, and it will.
So
however Garmin does its thing, it knows where you can and can't go. So, and that's good. I don't know if that's going to cross over into MVUM, but if it does, that's even money because there are some trails out there on the MVUM that you're required to be 60 inches or less.
Yep.
So if you're in a wide body vehicle, say a Land Cruiser or even a 4Runner, I think is right pretty just over that. Technically that's not legal. It's more geared towards Jeeps and side-by-sides, but
yeah,
that kind of works.
That is probably a carryover from their RV side of things because they have one that's an RV tablet, and you put in all the parameters for your RV, and it will keep you from routing you like under low bridges or that kind of stuff. So that's kind of I would imagine a carryover. Either way, I held off on the original Overlander because there was a little bit of that talk about. It works and it does a pretty good job, but it's lacking the information that you need, camp and trails and some other stuff. And when I looked at that pre-production model, I couldn't tell for sure, but I mean, I could see that there was a lot more information out there. So where they've, how they've compiled that or whatever.
They've also include they include the bird's eye satellite imagery.
Yep.
At no charge now. So you can actually, from the device, log into either connect to your phone or connect to a Wi-Fi signal, and you can go in and pull in satellite imagery for the area you're going to be at. And it's actually pretty decent quality from what I've seen so far. Some of that stuff is like really high level stuff, and you really can't see much on the ground. But it's not as good as Google Earth, but it's pretty damn close.
Yeah. That's pretty slick.
So it's basically going to be the brains of our vehicle at some point of our trips, because you said there's planning. And now, Lee, did I hear you say that you're able to like connect your lights to it?
Yeah, how you have the S pods that they make that. Okay, so it's a very similar product to that. You put the module under the hood or connect it to your battery or whatever. You wire everything to it, and then it Bluetooths to the display. I think I'm saying it does Bluetooth to it, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's true Bluetooth, but it's a wireless connection between the box and the device.
And so you pull up on the screen, you can just touch the screen, and it gives you a little box that has all your different. You can label it however you want. You can just sit there and touch the screen, turn on your air compressor, lights. If you got rock lights or backup lights or chase lights, whatever. I mean, just boom, boom, boom. You can tap them on there, and I think it'll hook up. I think it will hook up 2 or 3 of those boxes to give. I think it's 12. Isn't it 12? So each box.
I think each box is 6. I think you can do 2 boxes.
Yeah, I think it's 2 boxes.
A total of 12.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to see, so with the side-by-side version, the smaller one, the 5-inch, they actually incorporated the radio, the GMRS radio, into the device. I wish they had done something similar because that would be pretty cool. Maybe them and Midland need to team up and come out with a really sweet, 50-amp GMRS radio integrated into it that when you click it in the docking station.
Into the screen or into the device?
Yeah, that way you can tune your channels. You can do all that from the screen. I mean, if you're going to make the screen your go-to area for navigation and communication, why not drag the radio piece into it as well?
Well, and I was saying it kind of being funny, but being serious. Does it have voice, or is it all push button?
You can do you can do like
A few
kind of like
commands.
yeah, which it will pair to your phone and pull your contacts and stuff in for use with the inReach or however whatever you want to use. I mean, I think it technically has email in there somewhere, but yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
Damn, I thought I was old.
Hey,
just leave him there.
No,
leave him hanging.
No, we were talking about having voice.
You said we were friends. Friends don't do that, Michael.
Well, I said we were. I had always thought we were friends. You were the one that came out going like, "Hey,
so
you just now said we graduated."
In order to get the group ride radio, you have to go to the Power Sport edition.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which makes absolutely, I don't know that I understand why that is.
I don't understand it either. I don't know if they have some kind of licensing maybe for specific channels. And
I think I might have it figured out. The antenna that you see for the inReach is tan on the Overland edition. It's black on this Power Sport, so that's probably the antenna. They may not be able to incorporate both antennas into one device.
That makes sense.
Strictly my guess.
Strictly your guess.
I'm actually trying to get somebody from Garmin to come on the show with us and talk about this thing like in great detail. So,
I mean, I can reach out to our account guy and see if he can get us in touch with somebody.
Well, if he's the same account guy that somebody else, yeah. I need to go take a blood pressure pill.
Yeah. Calm down.
He doesn't want to come on the show because I guess they're like shy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but hey, Lee, guess what? Tread Lightly just announced a few more board members.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
You're so kind to me. See, this is how the real friendship works, Ryan, is you just annoy each other and flip each other off and call each other names. So
it happens every once in a while.
You and Michael will get there.
So now I did want to talk about the trip that you guys just went on. It looked from your TikToks and your Instagram, it looked amazing.
It was.
So what else did you do?
We left the day after Christmas and beat feet all the way into New Mexico. I think it's pronounced Cibola. Cibola, right there between Gallup and Albuquerque. And we pretty much dumped into the national forest there, and then spent the next 4-5 days working our way south, kind of bouncing between Cibola and Gila, back and forth all the way down. Ultimately, we wound up in Las Cruces.
Wow. That's
right on.
That's awesome.
Now, was this? I don't really remember. Was this the first trip in the completed truck?
Yeah, it was. It was actually a big push to get it done before we left.
Okay.
The only thing I didn't have was the gears installed, and that was because they literally showed up the day before Christmas Eve.
You got to break them in, so you just can't take off on a trip. You got to break them in.
Yeah.
So, were you happy with it overall?
Overall, yeah, I was extremely happy with it. It's a total different setup than the trailer. Don't get me wrong, I love the trailer, and the trailer kind of has its place. But to be sans trailer and having the ability to like move quickly was pretty nice. And the winds were pretty gnarly up there. And having an enclosed space that you can go to and hang out when it's cold and blowing 30 miles an hour and snowing outside, that was pretty nice. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So did you install the Dickinson heater in it and the whole 9 yards?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It worked well. We did have a couple of hiccups. We were in a canyon at one point, and the air was swirling around us, and it was blowing probably anywhere between 30 and 45 mile an hour gusts. And so it was flattening the flame inside there. And normally I try and position myself where I'm into the wind.
Yeah.
The way it would come, so a couple times a night I'd have to go downstairs and relight it, but
They just kind of whip around the truck and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it would shake the truck. That's how hard the wind was blowing.
Yeah,
like the truck was swaying on the suspension.
The one thing for sure about those canopy campers is when that thing is up, it does not move. I mean, at least mine does. I think Michael and I had we had 80-mile-an-hour winds out there in Colorado.
It was ridiculous.
Never even knew it there. I mean, it's the gas struts that hold that thing up.
Well, and here's the deal: we weren't aimed the right way for it either.
Yeah, that's right. We were we were
facing it, like it wasn't our feet. It was the back end of the truck.
Sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were at a point where we were all crammed in. We couldn't move the trucks. We didn't know there was a wind like that coming. We had no clue.
So it performed well. What did you put a lift on it too?
We did a Dobinson suspension. And originally I had the rear spring set for a bed rack and a tent. You know, we had a walkabout on there for a while, and then a couple iCamper, and so it was sprung for that. So when we put the canopy camper on, I actually pulled those springs out and put the long bed 600-pound springs in, and that did really well for where we are now. Our goose gear is getting ready to go in, hopefully here in the next week or two. And once that happens, I've got an ATA leaf that'll take those 600s to 800s, which I think I'm going to have to do.
Man, that goose gear is so kind of nice, but I mean, I just don't have another kidney I can let go of right now.
Well, you got rid of your trailer, right? I mean, come on, man.
He's about to get rid of this truck.
I see a couple of pew-pews on the wall. I'm sure you could free up some funds there.
If I sold all these well, no, that ain't happening. Yeah. So I'm ready for another trailer. I got my eye on a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't no turtleback either.
But he's so fishy. He's looking at getting a different truck.
I know. I'm all over the place, but I do know this.
It's ridiculous.
I do know this. I missed the trailer, so I'm going to go back to a trailer. And honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I had to put a tent on the turtleback, that's exactly what I'd probably go to. But I don't really want a tent on a trailer. I just want a good trailer that you could sleep in, and then I want to put a tent, on the truck. But yeah.
I don't know why you want to get rid of your Ollie cab.
Yeah, why don't you do like a low profile trailer like the Turtleback Getaway or something of that style that you can load up with extra gear? I mean, I guess what's the point of having a sleeping system in or on the trailer and in or on the truck?
Because I can't take the wife and kids for extended periods in the Audi cab. My wife doesn't. She says it's too
I'm saying still have a trailer, but why? Like you were talking about getting rid of the Alley cab and going to just a
rooftop tent. Yes, something like that. Yeah, and then just have a trailer. I just like having the trailer, man. I and plus I really want to get us a radio trailer put together so we can have one of those trailers that you can get up on top of. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
A man that can organize his batteries in a complete kit.
Wow, I
can't figure out what he wants to do with his tent, his trailer, his truck.
That was the most OCD thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know. When I saw it when we were at Moore, I about lost it.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh no, this is different. What is this?
What is that?
These are all my cables and wires
and
shit devices.
I'm surprised they don't have labels.
See, everything's organized in there.
It's probably coming, Michael. That's going to be 2.0 version of that. It's going to be everything's going to be labeled. The cable and where it goes.
This battery thing that we're talking about has holes in it for different size batteries, and they're perfectly rowed out, like they're perfectly aligned.
It is. I admit it is.
How long did it take you to do that?
I bought it that way. just like I bought that cable organizer bag. So that has all our, mic jacks and USB-C, regular 3.0s. I mean, all that stuff. So I got to keep it organized the best I can. But you're right. I can't make up my mind about the whole trailer camper thing. So it's a curse. Sorry.
I yelled at my great uncle about no more diesels in the Chevy Colorado, and he said it's like the Jeep. The Jeep's going to stop doing the diesel too because there's just not any interest. No one's buying them.
The diesel Jeeps? Really?
Not the numbers that no one's ordering, I think is what it is. People, they're out there, but I think there's no orders for them. There's no, hey, you sold the one at the dealership. I came in, I wanted one too. There's not enough of that. People are just getting one with gas instead.
Is the best solution right there. Eric, you're my hero.
Hey, did you hear about Lamborghini? So Lamborghini isn't going to do an EV car. They don't want to do one.
Good for them. Thank God somebody's got.
They're going to do a vehicle that runs on air.
Oh God.
What is going on?
It gets worse.
Is that worse? What is that?
I don't know.
Have you heard of this?
So I'm sure the only byproduct is hydrogen or something like that. I don't know.
Something I saw it's going to run on air.
We have the DirtCom. We have the DirtCom tire carrier in stock, ready to go.
There you go.
Go get it.
Get it now. I can't believe people aren't going to go for the diesel Jeep. I just don't understand it. This is what's going to force me into a full-size, big, freaking redneck truck because I want a diesel.
Yep, I believe it. Hey, are we?
That comment you were just on, Alan Martinez.
Yeah.
So we actually installed a canopy camper. He's the one that's got the white Bison. I think he messaged Lee about the table fitting up between his racks.
Oh yeah. I seen pictures. Yeah.
So
right.
He's actually we're sponsoring a giveaway on his Instagram. It started tonight. Actually, my watch has been blowing up. He's Garmin InReach Mini. You can win one if you go find Alan on Instagram.
There you go.
_Butte or Butte.
Put Alan posted in the comments your Instagram thing.
Comments. We'll
post it in the comments. We'll send everybody over there. That's what I meant, Eric. Hydrogen drive, the byproduct's oxygen. That's what I was trying to say. I just had it backwards, or Michael had it backwards. One of the two.
Here,
anyway,
you want me to move over and
let's go see the truck.
Yeah, let's go do the truck now. Hang on, everybody.
You're not leaving.
We're going for a ride.
Why can't I leave?
Looked like Lee was about to get up.
I don't know, Brandon, if his is a ZR2 diesel, but mine is, and I love it. And damn Chevy for not bringing it back in 23.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. Dude,
this
is so cool.
Here's the problem. They claim that the new 4-cylinder twin turbos put more horsepower, more torque, and that's fine. But how are they going to last? That's what I want to know. Now, let's get back to Ryan here.
Ryan, I am a huge fan of your truck.
Well, thank you, because Lee
the color combination, the wrap, the orange on the orange beadlocks, it looks amazing.
I think it does look amazing if you wear lace on your drawers, but that's a different story.
Wow.
Then I'm surprised you don't. What do you not have lace? I mean,
touche.
What is it?
Touche. No, actually, I think it's really cool. I mean, the first time I saw you when you posted, I thought, damn, that thing really jumps out at you. And once you see it, no matter what, you're going to recognize it.
Well, the green up front makes it jumps out at you, but it's in an odd, subtle way, even though that orange is so powerful, because the green in front of it gives it a subtle jump out at you, kind of, but it jumps for damn sure.
And that's why we were working with the company who wrapped it. They're out of Austin. And I told him, I was like, I want something completely different. I don't want to see topo. I want something that just says, wow. And it took us a couple iterations to get here, but I'm really happy with the end result.
It looks
for
like
sure.
it looks like a race truck.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does. Okay,
The
so
only- Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go
I was
ahead.
I was gonna say, if I had to do it over again, this
Uh-huh.
is a subtle change. I would have powder coated the front rings green, so the green in the front, so the wheels transition with the color on the truck.
Yep.
So
It's
You
never
know,
too
I
late.
hear what you're saying, but I think it works this way.
Or you
I
could
do
do
too.
it. You could
If
do it
anything,
opposite.
I would have done green on the back.
Yeah, flip it around.
So we tried that. It didn't have the punch.
It didn't have the
It,
punch.
it didn't
Yeah.
have the punch.
No, I
So
think keeping them orange on the bottom. I think it works.
Jared's got a good comment. He says, "I've seen you guys grow so much from the first meeting and at the rendezvous in the Ozarks." So, yeah, I remember that, and you're right. That's what hard work does for you nowadays.
It's been a wild ride. It's a lot of fun though. We enjoy
Yeah.
it. I mean, I'm a gearhead first, so that's what makes this so easy and fun for me. Is that I really get to help people figure out what exactly it is they want,
Yeah.
and then build their dream, or help them build their dream. We've done it both ways.
Well, you start out and you have obviously inventory and you have visions and things like that, and you just keep pushing and pushing, and next thing you know, that inventory, instead of having a couple, a handful of different brands, then you got this whole mecca. I mean, and we've had those conversations about what it takes to bring that stuff in an inventory. It's just not easy. And that's why Michael and I want to go this summer and do this, this Midwest tour thing where we go to these brick and mortar shops and we go live, we broadcast, we try to make it an event, because we know that if we can help bring people to a location, a brick and mortar shop like yourself, then people are going to walk in the store and they're going to buy something. I mean, it just happens that way. Even me, every time we've ever gone to a different location and set up to do an event, I've ended up buying something. It's just, we can't help ourselves.
We all get suckered into it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to.
Well, I mean, we have all the cool toys.
You do have all the cool toys.
Well, there you go. So let's talk about the truck. Give us are you on a laptop or your phone, or what are you on?
Yeah, I can move around. What do you want to see?
Well, tell us the basics to begin with. Suspension setup and all that.
So we'll kind of work front to back. How about that? That gives
Perfect.
us a purpose. So we did a C4 hybrid front bumper.
Mm-hmm.
We did a whole barrage of Baja lights in the front with a Warren. I didn't do a Xeon on this one. I went with the
Evo.
The Evo.
Yeah.
And I didn't know those come with wireless remotes. Now, we've installed a couple since I figured that out, but they come with a wireless remote. It's corded or wireless. We did Dobinson suspension. It was about a 2 to 2.5 kit all the way around.
Okay.
And then, like we talked about, it's set up for the weight. Let's see. The tires, we're running a pretty big tire for a Tacoma. We're running a 305/70. So it comes out to like a 34 by 12, which required, a bunch of hammering, body mount relocation. And then we did the Alpha equipped wheels. Let's see, we did Alpha equipped snorkel too. It's on the other side of the truck, but dude, that thing looks really good. So it's
is that the low profile carbon fiber one?
Yeah, that thing is
right on.
And it puts the air intake right by the passenger window, so when you have the window down, you hear it sucking air in. It's great. I love it.
Awesome.
See, it's that right there proves it's just the small things that make a big difference. Here, honey, you drive, because I want to listen to my snorkel whistle.
We did a power brake, full stage 1 kit in the front end for braking. It's one of the things that really gets overlooked when you build out a truck, especially as heavy as this thing is being able to stop all that weight and do it safely. So we did power brake on there. We did goose gear seat deletes in the back with our fridge, and then I built a power system. So we've got a 100 amp hour lithium battery, Red Arc BCDC 1240, some other bits and pieces back there, but more or less the power for the fridge, the camper, all goes through the back seat.
Oh wow! So you didn't do the whole back part of the. Interesting.
So I like it this way because it now frees up whatever I do inside the bed of the truck. I don't have to have any electrical back there except for the goose gear panel and the quarter of the camper. So it worked out really well.
Well, and if you think about it, the gear that you want, most likely you're going to want to get to in the truck. Like it just, whether it be clothes or even tools or anything. I mean, just open up and get it out of the truck, out of the back.
So what about the kids? Wait a minute.
This is
mom and dad's. This is mom and dad's getaway. I got you. Okay.
I mean, we can still hook up to the trailer and take the trailer with us. I mean, Jordan's 17, so the kids are getting old enough they can drive. I've got a GX 470. If they want to play, I'll build that for them or help them build it. I'll make them do the work.
Right on.
But yeah, let's see. Awesome. We did a Sherpa Equipment Company rack. Now, we talked briefly about the table thing with Alan, but so I didn't do the table because I don't like having to pull the table out and wipe it down every time, which is what you have to do. And don't get me wrong, it's a great use of dead space up there, but I wanted the rack because it really helps with the aerodynamics. It keeps the air from going between the camper and hitting that flat wall. And so it actually, surprisingly, when we were before the gears, when we were on our way back from New Mexico, I did have the wind at my back, but we were getting about 12 or 13 miles to the gallon. Oh, there you go.
Damn, 12 to 13 miles a gallon. What are you getting after the gears?
So I haven't done a highway trip yet with them. In town, I gained about a mile per gallon. I went from like a little over 9 to a little over 10.
Wow.
So that's pretty crazy.
Hey, Alan. So tell me about that diesel bison you got, because I bet you're getting like 17 to 19 like me.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
Well, I'm right there with you. That Nissan sucks it too.
I'm just giving you a hard time. That's funny.
I combated it with the gears, and I put a long range American tank in here. So it
was
21 gallons, I think, is what the factory tank was, and we have a 33-gallon tank in there now.
Nice.
So I'm back into, like, in town, I filled up. I put, like, 26 gallons in it, and I was right at 260, and that's not factoring in the 5% difference because of the wheels and tires. It's running pretty true to 10 miles per gallon in town.
Mm.
Yeah, I know the full size of it makes for crappy. Sorry, I went to go get my pizza.
So what was your experience like being in the alley cab? Because was this your first time to be in the alley cab on this trip?
It was. I liked it. The sleeping quarters are a little tighter. I mean, we're used to a walkabout 72. Yeah. Which is a king size bed, so we have plenty of room.
Way wider than these are. Yeah.
Yeah. But I liked the ability to get in and out of the tent from inside the truck. You know, you don't have to go.
When it's cold.
Well, and you had a little bit of weather, so you guys were able to hang out, which was probably a big game changer.
Yeah,
so I saw something I wanted to see. Have you ever seen this with the alley cab? I watched one of the videos of the Australian guys, and this guy that built out his canopy camper he was like one of these old school hardcore kind of guys, and he built his where yes, you could get into the inside, through the back door and walk in, but when you lifted up both doors on the side, he had those things packed with the shelving systems, but he had so much crap inside that, you had to unload it to get out. So what he did was, when he took his wife, he mounted on the sides of the canopy camper the mounts for the retractable ladders, and he threw one in the back seat. So he would enter the canopy from the side so that he could fill up the inside with all that kind of stuff. I never would have thought of that.
They have that for the Kaya camper.
Yeah.
The Kaya camper has a bracket. Now, the glory part is that the new Alucab ladder, if you haven't seen it, it's amazing. but it comes with the bracket to mount to the side of the tent.
Yeah.
So I've considered taking one of those ladders and doing exactly what you described and putting a bracket on the passenger side, because the awning is on the driver's side.
That's exactly what
it gives you the ability to use the window on the side as an egress in and out of the tent.
And store stuff in the truck that you need for safety and still be able to get up in the tent.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, if you're on an extended trip and you have a little more stuff than you would normally have, and you don't have a lot of, you know, moving room in there, I mean, you still have some room.
Or it's just a quick night, you know, you stop and you don't want to get all the shit out.
Yeah, you don't want to get out.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned the table, and so like Alan, you know, when he asked me about it, I was like, yeah, don't worry, if you got the Prinsu rack on there, it'll fit. But you know, I bought that Covea table from you,
dude. We carry one everywhere we go. We love
it. It's perfect. It's everything. I mean, it's stable. It's got the case, and it fits flush right up against the bulkhead. And I mean, I just put a little, you know, bungee strap around it. So
that's where you guys in the Colorado are lucky. Your bed is actually a little bit taller. The bed rail is a little bit taller. My Covea table won't fit in that same spot because you guys have like an extra inch or two there. So you actually have an inch. The vertical space is a little larger in there, Lee. You've never heard that before, I'm sure.
Well, that depends. No. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that Covea table I got from you. Actually, I bought that at a Rendezvous too. I mean, that thing just it fits in there perfect. And so I get the whole wiping the table thing down. I don't think I'd like that either. So.
And I moved my patch collection.
Oh, nice!
Look at you go.
So I had all those patches. They were in the GX before, but now they've all moved into here. I've got a proper place. So
hey, on your back door, those panels I bought the other day. I say the other day, a week or so ago, Ryan. I bought that sound deadening and insulation mat stuff that you put in cars, and I started lining that, and then I took some real industrial heavy spray adhesive and then put carpet squares in them, and I opened the door up and let the sun set, and you know, did my little temperature gun on it beforehand and then after, and man, it's amazing. That stuff not only does it block a lot of that heat coming through that back door, but it also makes it's not as loud, the outside noises. So
and so I bought some of that to do it. I just haven't gotten around to that yet, because on the 6-foot model we have an extra panel right here that you don't have, and that's just aluminum skin. So when this heater's running, that aluminum, when it's 20 degrees outside, it's just yanking that heat right through that panel and out. So I think doing something along the lines of what you talked about, where putting some insulation, whether it's sound deadening first and then, you know, foam board or carpet squares, whatever, something to add a little bit of thickness to it. Yeah. Because even before we had the goose gear, we have one of the bed rugs in here, and man, that makes a world of difference.
That's what I put in mine too. I put the bed rug in, so it's got the foam strips for the you know, the ribs, and then, you know, up the sides, and then I put a piece of cut out. And what's cool about this is, for anybody else that wants to know this, before you install your bed rug, unzip it and lay it on a piece of plywood, trace it out, and then cut you a piece of plywood to drop right in on top of it. It makes a great floor.
Ooh, look at that.
So so what I did was I traced it out and took a piece of plywood, cut it all out, then I zipped it back in and put it all back, the carpet in there, and then laid the floor down on top. And it was, I mean, you talk about a solid foundation, and it's so insulated. Holy crap.
And that's what I plan on when I put the goose gear in here, because the goose gear has a base plate that has to sit directly on the bed floor, is I'm going to cut the base plate area out of the bed rug and leave all the walls lined with it. So on the inside of the cabinets, when you open those, it's got the carpet in there. So I maintain that R value.
Yeah. So does your bed rug should have a zip-in floor?
It does, but it matches the contour of the bed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
where the goose gear plate is going to be square. So I will wind up cutting it so that way everything fits nice and tight.
You can't just lay the base plate on top? of the carpet?
I don't think so. I think it's going to push the goose gear modules up too high because the goose gear modules attach to the rail that's on the side of the camper. And
Yeah.
if you go up, this bed rug's pretty thick. If you go up an inch in height, which is probably pretty close to what it is, that's going to put that mounting point off by an inch.
Oh, wow. Huh. I'd be curious to know because it'd be nice if you could just put the base plate down on top of that rug and maintain that insulation underneath there.
Yeah. I mean, we like the carpet. It makes it feel like home, like a camper.
Yeah.
So even with the goose gear in, I plan on putting some outdoor carpet or something down on top of the base plate to kind of just – because I liked it when coming out of the tent in the mornings and not having to put shoes or anything on and just be able to stand down here and be comfortable. I want to maintain that.
You could probably just put carpet squares down. That's what I thought about doing. But, even after the plywood's down now, is I thought, well, I'm going to maybe put the, carpet squares down. So
I don't know that it'll work, but let's see, do I have my keys on?
Well,
so one thing I did, and that's what I was going to try and show you guys, but I don't have my keys on me, is I actually got one of those live view rear view mirrors.
Oh, yeah.
And put there's a camera on the back of the camper.
Yep.
So when I look at the rear view mirror now, you're looking right through the camper. So the rear view mirror still functions.
Which one did you replace the whole mirror, or is it the one that snaps onto it?
It's the one that snaps on. I think it's made by Wolf.
Yeah.
I got it off the arch nemesis Amazon and hardwired in. But it's pretty nice. I mean, it's got a pretty bird's eye view to where you can actually touch the screen and move. The camera's not moving, but your field of view moves up and down. So I can go from looking straight back to all the way down to looking at the spare tire on the rear door without the camera moving at all.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Wow.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I can see I could see like someone was saying, I was talking to somebody about it and they were like, well, I got a backup camera. I was like, well, but it's not for necessarily backing up. It's to see what's behind you while you're going down the road, like changing lanes, all that kind of stuff. If you've got like a camper or all the gear that we carry, me with my light in a rack, I can't really see out my rear view mirror that well.
Yeah, we've actually got a couple of customers that we've done that same camera mod on that have Jeeps. And it's just because the back of the Jeep is so loaded with gear, they can't see out the back anymore. And you get on some of these tight trails and trying to back up and navigate and stuff like that, it can be helpful. There's some value in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, just riding around with all the knuckleheads on the road. Jeez.
Yeah. There's plenty of those. That's for damn sure. My 66 slide-in camper has 3/4 inch blue foam insulation. Yep.
Now, how did you notice a big difference in driving the truck with all the weight? I mean, I know you've done some suspension upgrades and you've got the coils in the back, for the weight, but did you find it unnerving sometimes feeling the weight, or did you even notice it? Because that would be my fear.
The only time I notice the weight, like notice it, is when there's a crosswind.
Yeah.
When the crosswind hits the side of that camper, you feel it. I mean, as long as the wind's not super bad, whether you're driving into it or driving across from it, the truck drives really well. I mean, the motor that's in this thing is a little on the underpowered side. I wish they would do something more like what they have in the 4Runner. But now that the gears are done and we did a tune on it, which helped with the shift points in the transmission. So the gears helped with the torque. The tune helped with how long it's holding each gear. And it's not trying, because the way it's programmed from the factory is it's constantly trying to downshift to keep your RPMs low and get better gas mileage so they get their EPA certification crap. So that really helped a lot as well.
Here's a mod for you. On the awning, it has one leg.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on Amazon and for, I want to say $20, I bought 2 aluminum poles, telescoping poles, and I went to the other 2 arms and I popped 2 little holes in them and put rubber grommets in there.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was gonna add the poles.
Why do you need poles?
Yeah, it's like strong on its own, dude.
Yeah.
It is. But if you've been in Oklahoma like today, you couldn't, even one pole wouldn't do the
I
trick.
wouldn't. If it was as bad as it was down here, I wouldn't.
Yeah, why are you opening up your awning anyway on a day like that?
Hey, Michael, you know why? Because he wants to get his poles out and show his poles to everybody. That's why.
No, so here's a perfect example of how this happened. So
he's popping little holes with.
Yeah. I went to bed, and in the middle of the night, I heard the wind start, really kicking up in the middle of the night. And I thought, oh shit, I'm so glad I put those poles on this thing and staked it down.
So they made a big difference, you think?
Oh, I know it did. And even when I was gone last year, I used those poles almost every time I stopped and put the awning out. I put the poles down and staked it. Now, I get that it doesn't need it in most cases, but to me, it's a small.
Did it keep it from like rattling around more, or
is
that what
the material still rattles a little bit? But what is it just picking up and doing like, go look at what's her name, Juliana Rose?
Yeah, did you see that where it just like folded it over?
Yeah, and so I mean, how bad would it be to sleep and just for some reason a pop-up storm or whatever, and that thing comes through?
I'll be honest, that's usually why I just put mine away at night. I don't necessarily roll it up, but I'll swing it against the truck and just throw one strap over it.
Yeah.
I've woke up in the middle of the night to too many storms and had to go running out of bed to put the awning away or get it strapped down. I mean, I'm done with that. So I just usually kind of
and it's simple enough.
It is. It's not. I mean, you undo the strap and you just swing it around and throw one of the Velcros over it. I don't roll it up because I'm usually going to put it right back out in the morning unless I'm leaving. Then I'll put it away.
If there's a storm predicted, I usually don't even put it out. But in the case like yesterday, I was like, damn, it's blue skies. I didn't realize it was going to be that windy. It was a little windy when I put it up, so I thought, let's just go ahead and strap it down. But anyway, y'all both can kiss my ass. Anyhow. I just don't want it to end up a mangled mess.
No, I agree. I mean, it's an investment. You want to keep using it. You don't want to have to repair it.
So what? Okay, so you're getting the goose gear in there. What fridge do you use in the back? Are you using a?
We have a Snowmaster. Right now, there's a TR42 in there. That works for most weekend trips for Libby and I. We swapped that out for one of the dual zone 56s for our big trip to New Mexico. Just gave us some more space, but a 56 will fit in the back seat and slide out the door. It's pretty nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Very cool.
Huh.
Yep.
What do you have skids underneath it?
I do. I actually went with the ARB skids on this one.
Okay.
I looked at some of the others out there. I really like the fit and finish of the ARBs. They're a little on the heavy side, but I wanted something that really provided some good protection. I mean, I didn't need a gas tank skid because I was replacing the tank with the LRA tank. So, the ARB covers all the way past the transfer case.
Yeah. Alan, just so you know, I'll send you a link to the material that I use. It's a rubber. It's sticky as hell. It's almost like tar paper, kind of, sort of, but it has a shiny aluminum, I guess, on one side that's real sticky on the other. And I mean, no air or anything's going to get underneath it. You need a roller to roll it on. And
so is it like butyl tape?
It's very similar to a butyl tape, but it's more. I don't know how to describe it. I can send you the link too, but it goes on really well. It contours to everything. You can overlap it. It's got a little roller you roll it on with, and it, smushes it down into all the cracks and crevices. And so,
Matt.
Nah, that's not it. But I'll find it.
Nah.
So anyway, it works good. Then I'm just putting the squares of carpet with an industrial 3M spray adhesive over the top of it, just to, because the sound deadening mat and insulation is not pretty to look at all. So anyway, and so I'm contemplating if I keep it much longer, I'll end up doing the sidewalls and all that, and even in front of where the water tank goes, just to help make it a little more
Yeah.
heat.
I wish I had done something before we installed our water tank, because I'm going to have to pull it to put something back there.
Yeah, that's a big area too. And does yours have in front of the camper between the cab? Does it have that little gap between the front bulkhead and
all of them do that. So that's part of the fit kit. You're talking about that guy right there, the filler piece that goes right there.
Yeah,
so that's part of the fit kit. Depending on the truck, depends on how deep that is. Like the Gladiators, dude, it's probably 6.5 inches, because their bed is like a 5'5" or a 5'6" bed. So they have a bigger filler plate there.
Mm-hmm.
So mine has that same, filler into it. And in one of the forum groups, one of the guys put hinges on it. Did you see that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think I figured out how to put a drawer slide like this with a piece of, I don't know, I'll maybe use Delrin or something like that. But that's where I want to mount some Rotopacks.
I thought you didn't need them with your super fuel
with your
efficient
diesel bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
he needs the DEF.
I need the DEF.
That's
and
what it is.
Here's an interesting tidbit. I emailed Blue Def and asked them if I could put them store it in a Rotopack, and they sent me an email back that says as long as it doesn't contain these chemicals in the process of manufacturing the Rotopack, then yes. So then I took that email and sent it to Rotopacks and said, here's the stipulations, and they go, no, you're fine. So I've been storing DEF for the last year in a white Rotopack that says DEF on it.
I didn't think it was supposed to be visible to the sun.
No.
Like that could heat up or whatever.
Oh, the DEF can't be?
Yeah, that's what I've always been told.
The only thing Blue Def told me, they said, hey, just don't let it sit for, months on end. And I'm like, dude, the way I go through it, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but are you taking that shit off the side of your truck and filling up your DEF, or are you just getting a new bottle and putting it in there?
Oh, no, I rotate it. I will literally fill it up and then walk in and go buy a new and refill them. But yeah, so those of you guys that have diesels with DEF, you can store it in a Rotopack.
Good info.
Just make sure you don't drink it thinking it's water.
Yeah, someone said just go DEF or DEF delete. And the problem with that is that if you have anything wrong with your truck and you're still under warranty and you take it in, they will not do the work. Or they will charge you to get it back to what it needs to be and then do the work.
That's why you wait till your warranty's out and then you do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, anyway. But there's even some work like, because we have the diesel Mercedes. And we had to deal with that stuff. And my uncle wanted to do the delete, and they were like, "Well, there's a lot of work that only Mercedes can do to this that we won't do if you do the delete." Craziness.
Holy shit, this guy's serious, man. Coleman semi-trailer and turned it into motorhome. Yeah, that's
wow.
Do you have the shower on the other side, Ryan?
I do.
Have you used it? Not.
That sounds personal.
It does sound kind of personal, but I mean, is it pretty easy to deploy? And
you use that toilet yet?
I mean, it's just as easy, if not easier, than the Army.
Have you used the shitter yet? No.
I won't be the first. I won't be the first if you haven't.
Here's the reason I asked. I had one of the quick pitch on the Opus that when I designed that swivel thing for them, and it had the hard case and all that. Man, I really liked it. So I just wondered if, the Alucab was in that same category.
It is.
Okay.
Very similar.
It's not as large on the inside as the 23-0 is, though. So the 23-0 show is probably one of the biggest ones I've seen. It's like 44 inches.
Yep.
I mean, you and Michael could fit in there.
We could fit into it pretty
well.
We
probably should test that out at more. I think we should get both you and Michael in the shower, the 23-0 shower.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of which, I am super excited about more this year.
I am too. I talked to Chris last week or the week before. We're ready to roll.
Right on.
It's a little weird not being there right now, but it would have been last weekend.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, we should be at more, right?
I was on a date on Valentine's Day.
See, had they had it on Valentine's Day, it probably would have been hard for Michael to get there. I mean, it might have been hard because he's
It
too
might have been. No, man.
Might have been hard.
you might have been-
Wow.
you
Lee.
picked up on that.
Wow.
Shit. It's so much fun to give him hell. Anyway, all right. So tell anything else you want to tell us about it? Supercharger, you gonna put a supercharger on it? Come on. Yeah,
You are.
I'm working on that. Yes,
You
I
gotta
wanna-
get
I wanna-
past
I wanna
Libby.
do Magnuson. Yeah, I got to get the PO approver to sign off on that one. Surprisingly, she was pretty on board with everything so far, but
You just need some e-bikes now.
I know I'm on an e-bike thing. I saw that Quiet Cat
Yes.
more, so I've kind of already alluded to the fact that I might be coming home with an e-bike. We'll see. I don't know. My buddy Justin's got like 6 different e-bikes or scooters, all electric, and he was talking to me today and said that he found a new one and he was supposed to send me a link. I think he did right before the show started, so I need to check that out and see.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
the
want
Quiet Cat's
some
pretty cool.
kind of electric mobile that gets me around.
Mhm.
I'm totally on board with that.
I'm with you because after Rendezvous last year, I was like, you know what? I'm just getting too damn old and lazy for this. I need a bike.
Well, and the
Probably
one
would-
weel looks cool, but I'm gonna hurt myself.
Oh, I'll end up in the hospital.
Yep.
I mean, it's like that video of the guy that he's got a YouTube channel, Trent Palmer, and he's got his buddies, and they
Oh,
fly
yeah.
into these remote
Dude,
places.
he's got a really cool YouTube channel. If you
Yeah.
guys haven't looked at that before, I enjoy watching his videos.
Yeah, oh yeah. And his buddy and all them, they fly into this, remote airstrip in Idaho or somewhere, and they're all on one wheels, and his buddy takes a dive, dislocates his shoulder. So they have to fly him out in another buddy's airplane and then pick up another guy to bring him back to get his airplane and fly him back out. So I was like, you know what? That one wheel is not for me.
Have you seen how he carries his one wheel? He straps them to the underside of the wings on
Yeah.
either side of the plane. It's pretty crazy.
If you like him, go look up Mike Patey.
I haven't seen that one.
He had a plane called the Draco, but it crashed. But anyway, he built this thing called Scrappy, and it's got a 600. It's like a Cub, a tail dragger, but it has the whole top of the wing. He's designed it has solar panels, and he's got enough batteries to run a welder in the airplane.
What?
He carries 2 electric motorcycles on one on each side of the wing. I mean, this thing's got kink shocks that automatically lower and raise the airplane up. Oh, it's insane. Go look him up.
You hear how he's talking, Michael? He's giddy
Yeah.
right now.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, oh, this is my space. Airplanes and gadgets.
Yeah, I'll nerd out with you. Hell yeah, I love
Dude, we got
airplanes.
some crazy wind coming in right now.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, today
I
it was
keep
pretty
looking
bad.
outside going, good Lord.
Holy crap!
Ooh.
18-inch lift with 40. Can you say 3
What?
miles to the gallon?
0 miles.
Yeah,
Negative
smiles.
miles to the gallon.
all smiles for him.
So,
Well, right on, man. Tell everybody where they can, find your shop, the website, the physical address, and what all social media you're on.
Yeah, lay it on us.
so our store is located in Fort Worth, Texas. You can find the address on our website or Facebook page. Facebook's at CB Adventure Supply. Website is cbadventuresupply.com. You can find us on Instagram, and we recently signed up for TikTok, so we've got some cool stuff coming out on TikTok.
You do have good videos out.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed them.
I've got a few more in the queue. So,
Right on.
yeah, that's where you can find us. If you're passing through this summer on a road trip, feel free to come and check out the store. We will hopefully be moving in June. So, make sure you check the address before you head this. That's pretty much it.
May have to do some type of grand opening party,
Yeah,
something.
Oh, there'll be a party. Now, whether or not you two show up, that's on you.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
throwing the invite out there. I'll give you the dates. It's on you guys to show up. So if we have a party for a grand opening and Overland Radio's not there, everybody's going to know why.
Well, you know what? We're talking about doing a tour, and maybe we'll just.
I
add
know
that as
you've
the
been
stop.
talking.
Well, I had something that I was kind of waiting on, and that fell through.
Oh, really?
Boom.
Man.
Yeah.
The hits keep coming, Michael.
Yeah. My good buddy Ryan here. Just
He's on his
things.
He's on his game
Bringing up
tonight.
things. You want to talk about all the ex-girlfriends and bad decisions?
Yeah.
We want to talk about next.
Yeah, right.
The Jeep Liberty. Do you want to talk about the fucking Jeep Liberty? Is that what you want to do?
Shut up.
Oh, man.
All right. So listen, make sure you go out and like his Instagram channel and all that good stuff. Don't forget Michael's at Overland. Don't forget Overland Radio. And go check out our Facebook page tonight, because here in a few minutes, I'm going to post a video.
I made a video. You were doing that while we were on the air. So
I was too busy. Yeah. And so go check it out. It'll be posted here in just a few minutes, but I made a video. I swear to God, there's nothing worse than looking at yourself on a video going, why did I freaking say that? I can't, anyway.
I'm going to say he hasn't run this by me at all. I have no idea what's going to happen. It could ruin the whole thing we got going.
Hey, look, our buddy Nick.
Oh, Nicholas.
Yay!
Dude, you guys,
we're gonna be at Moore too. We have a massive booth at Moore, so
yeah,
come see us there if you don't make it to our store in Texas.
Right on.
If you don't know Nick, he's got a killer Facebook group, and they're doing trips and all kind of stuff. And he writes a lot of killer blog stuff. I mean, his blogs
are treasure hunter,
and he's a treasure hunter too.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with Nick. He's been a customer of ours for a really long time.
And he likes to fly fish, so he's good in my book. But anyway,
he's got some
guys.
Really
well, hey, Ryan, thanks for coming on. I mean, I hope that we can be friends, remain friends after this show. I mean, it started during the show, so he's already waving bye. Lee, thank you for pushing all the buttons. Everybody out there, thank you so much for listening. Watching, if you're on Facebook doing this, make sure that you share it. Make sure that you go to everybody's social media and comment, like, share, do all that kind of stuff. Whatever you do, make sure that you go all